Hi, I'm Nick from Mountain Trail RV. We're in Cairns, Far North Queensland, and we are testing the new Toyota Land Cruiser 2022 300 Series GR Sport towing 3.5 tonne. We're towing the Mountain Trail LXV pure off-road caravan, 6.2 model, weighing in at 3.5 tonne, all the way to the most northern tip of Australia through Cape York. So let's get moving and see how they both perform in this off-road episode. All right guys, we're on the road. This is Heidi.
Hi.
So Heidi, we did have an incident on the way up here.
We definitely did, yep.
We were driving about 600 kilometres southwest of Townsville on a gravel road, doing 100 kilometres an hour. We could hear all the stones flicking back there, and suddenly, boom, it was like a gunshot went off.
We both ducked.
We did duck. We didn't know what it was. We looked at the back and the whole back window was shattered. This is the first time it's ever happened to us. We do have stone deflection systems built into the front of our van, but you do get the odd stone every now and then. I have heard of this before, where it will rebound off a different surface, like a flat surface, jockey wheel, and come back and hit the back of the vehicle, and this one's cracked the back window. So it shattered into a million pieces. We had to do lots of kilometres, and we made it to a place in Cairns, and they put a polycarbonate window, like an acrylic plastic window in. They cut it to size, it fits perfectly. If we didn't tell you, you probably wouldn't even notice it. And then we put a tint over it to make it look like the rear window. To avoid this happening, it is highly recommended. We actually had rock tamers on board, but we weren't going to put them on until we started this trip.
Yeah, in Cairns.
But we did hit this gravel road and we didn't put them on, but they will protect the front of your van and also the back of your vehicle from spraying rocks.
Yeah, absolutely.
So highly recommended, get a set of rock tamers or even a stone stomper or something to protect the back of your vehicle and the front of your van. Let's talk about the powertrain, so the engine and the gearbox in comparison to a Land Cruiser 200 series. So a Land Cruiser 200 series is a V8 4.5 litre bi-turbo, putting out 650 newton meters of torque and exactly 200 kilowatts of power. This motor here is what they call a hot V6, where the turbochargers are in the valley of the V6. It is 3.3 litres, puts out 227 kilowatts and 700 newton meters of torque. So straight away, more power, more torque, and more fuel efficient. In a 200 series, towing this in our previous videos, we were averaging around about 26 to 27 litres per 100k. On this, we've done 3,000 k's and we've averaged 20 to 21 litres per 100.
Yeah, it's significant.
It is significant. Smaller motor, more power, more output. Hey Heidi,
Yeah.
do you know what this is?
Yes. That is a telephone box.
Have you ever used one?
Yes.
Do you know how to use it?
Yes.
Show me.
I'm not that young. Okay.
Hey, now look, it's on there. Look, it's free now, right?
Yeah.
So you don't need to put money in. So
Well-
let's test it.
Yeah. Okay. Here we go.
Call my phone number.
All right.
It's ringing. It's ringing. Look, I'll get it. Hello.
Hello, Nicholas.
It works.
Of course it works.
I used to.
It's a typical phone box.
No, but we didn't have any money. No coins.
No, I know. It's now free. It's
Free?
for all national phone calls.
Really?
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
I
Thanks,
never knew
Telstra.
that. We have had another incident. We've lost a drone. We always do something in an episode. This is on the first day. We're almost all the way to Port Douglas.
Yep.
And we put the drone up to get a beach scene, and we were heading one way and we couldn't pull up, and we went return home and we went back to the home point and it was not there. It is somewhere in bushland, tropical bushland, which we're not going to get it. So we're going back into Cairns now to buy another drone. We do have a backup drone, but
We need always two drones.
you always need two, just in case this happens when we're really far north. Technology in this vehicle is huge. First thing you notice when you get in it is how much technology there is in it. The level of safety in this is something that I've never seen before in a vehicle.
Absolutely. We had to get the user manual out and check out all these buttons. I've never used a user manual before to really get going, but we had to do it with this car.
There's a lot of technology which we didn't quite understand how it all works. When you first get in, it's a little bit overwhelming with all the buttons everywhere, but now that we understand it all, it's quite easy. But it does take a little bit to get used to. Lane departure assist is standard when you turn it on. To turn it off, you can press and hold a button up here on the steering wheel. That'll turn it off. It comes on automatically with the vehicle. So you would have to turn it off every time. But when you turn the cruise control on, this button here for cruise, and then we turn it on, it goes to another level. It actually steers the vehicle. And I'll show you this on this corner coming up here. So you've got to have your hands on the steering wheel all the time. Cruise control's on, but watch this. Hands off, and it's steering the corner. But if you leave your hands off too long, it will tell you, wait. It's totally steering. Hold steering wheel. A little button came up, a little light there. So I put my hands back on it. So it's easy to drive it in this mode with your hand just resting on the wheel and not actually steering it, because it steers itself. It's a safety feature, but I'm not sure whether it's a good one because it'll make people complacent.
I think it's a good feature to be able to have like a safety aspect. So if you are getting tired, it kind of like makes you go, oh, hang on, like, you know, stay in the lane. But, you know, it can make, I think, in the future, lazy drivers potentially.
Caution, approaching school zone.
That is something you need to turn off all the time as well. So as soon as you jump into this vehicle, straight away there are warnings everywhere. As soon as you go over the speed limit by 5 kilometres, it'll kick in, you are over the speed limit. Obey the safety zones, and it was just constant all the time. So we went into the programs and we turned all of that off and left the school zone on.
Yep.
And speed camera and red light camera.
Yep.
We just hit the kangaroo. A wallaby. We came running out, went boom, straight under here, then under the back wheels, Coming under the van. Look. Blood. Blood. Went right under the whole lot. What about back here? How's this? Blood. Did you see it?
I saw the roof, yeah.
Yeah, was it completely smashed?
Yeah,
Right.
yeah. A lot of roadkill up here though.
There's a lot. All good. No damage. Kangaroo strike. Not a big one, probably that tall. Straight under.
Yeah.
Didn't stand a chance. Now let's talk about the engine and the driveline. The motor is a 3.3 litre twin turbo. It's actually bi-turbo. It says twin turbo on it, but it has a low pressure and a high pressure turbo. And it's a V6. Now it's very, very quiet and smooth. If you were just idling, you wouldn't even know the motor's running. But when you put your foot down, it's quite raspy. It really gets up and moves.
To the school zone.
Another school zone. The 0 to 100 is quite fast. It holds speed very well. It's a very zippy motor. It's got a really nice note to it as well. I'll see if I can give you an example of that. We have the van on the back. So far, the 3,000 Ks, we're quite impressed with it. Fuel economy's been good. We've had a mixture of 100 kilometres an hour to 110, and it's averaging between 20 and 21 litres per 100, towing 3.5 tonne, which is the van we have on the back. Now, the Land Cruiser 200, when we did the same towing with the same model of van on the back, weighing the same, was averaging around 26.5.
Was.
So it is more fuel efficient. The fuel tank is 110 litres, where the 200 series is 138, so not as much fuel.
Yeah, which you definitely notice when you are towing. You need to fill up a bit more.
Yeah, we did get caught out at one point, going through central, western New South Wales. We didn't realise it was 300 kilometres to the next fuel stop, and we entered that area with only half a tank of diesel, thinking there'd be a lot of fuel stations. And we managed to pull into a pub on the side of the road.
At Mount Hope?
Yeah, Mount Hope. And the publican came out and he said, I've got 20 litres of diesel at the back. This happens all the time out here. And he topped us up. We're on our way.
Yeah, it was perfect.
But overall, we're quite impressed with this vehicle, how smooth and quiet it is, and certainly very comfortable.
Yeah, absolutely. Long haul driving. You know, we did up to 1,000 Ks a day, and it was super comfortable. We weren't uncomfortable at all. The lumbar support's really good. Yeah,
Like
happy.
right now, I'm super comfortable in this. In comparison to a 200, I'm a taller person, 6'5". When I jumped into a 200, my head was always touching the roof.
Yeah.
And you can see right now, I've got clearance here. It's a 10-speed automatic. It's very refined, very smooth. One thing I would say about this straight away is it's a very smooth and quiet vehicle. So a real quick view of what we've got here. This is our touch screen, full touch screen. That's the map. This is the entertainment. This is the seat settings. I can tap this button here to get to my seat settings for comfort, climate control. And then down here, this is all your menu buttons right here. And this panel along here is all the climate control. Then there's more buttons down under here, diff locks, front, rear, and center. We've got center diff here. Then we've got tight turning where the diffs go off over here. We've got different drive modes. So I can set this to sports, sports plus, custom, normal, comfort, and eco mode. All right guys, it is the next day. Today's day 2. On day 1, which was yesterday, we travelled from Cairns to the Han River Roadhouse on the Peninsula Developmental Road. And what a beautiful road that is. 385 k's, all sealed except for 9 kilometres just coming in to the roadhouse where we are right now. But an absolute beautiful drive, well-maintained road. We did hit a kangaroo on the trip, and today we're off to somewhere new.
We are leaving Han River Roadhouse and we're heading to Arch River Roadhouse today. So it's about a couple of hundred k's, so there's going to be sealed and unsealed road, and we have been warned by the locals too that there's a massive washout going into Arch River Road.
They did say that the washouts are big, and if you're sitting at the wrong speed you can't brake in time. So if you're towing, which we are, be really careful because they can be definitely big. So let's get moving. So we're softening our tyres, we're deflating them from road to corrugations, so it'll help in the corrugations. So we'll just take a lot of the vibration out. Guys, we're on the Peninsula Developmental Road. We are in dust and corrugations, sitting on 75 k's an hour. The Land Cruiser is towing absolutely beautifully. It is smooth, no major vibrations. In fact, there's no rattles in this vehicle. That's what I like about it. It feels very solid. Corrugations, dust, washouts, ruts.
All of the above.
Dust, red dust. We're in Musgrave, a town somewhere along this track. And this is apparently the dead centre of it right here. Second of January 1919, 102-year-old grave.
It's 36.
He's the only one here. The road is rutted as well. There was a lot of wet weather here recently, and you can see, in fact, up here, we're going to have to jump on the other side of the road onto the oncoming traffic lane. It's that rutted. So the drive modes, we have custom, sports plus, sports, normal, comfort and eco. We've got it in comfort and it rides so softly, doesn't it?
It does, really softly.
It's like a boat, just kind of
floats
really
over.
soft velving. Yeah, it just floats over everything. It's taking a lot of the harshness out of the corrugations. Might get a little bit of it just here. Here we go. Just floating right through it all. See that?
Yep. Yeah, it's really comfortable.
Got the speed up to 90. There's a lot of floodways and they come up on you by a bit of a surprise. So you've got to be ready to get on the brakes, especially at, you know, speeds above 90. Towing as well. Like here's one coming up right here.
It says a dip.
Feel the suspension here. It's got water in it. Water. Woo.
Yep.
Whole fridge jumped then. Did you see that sign back there?
Slippery when wet.
Yeah. Do you know what they're referring to?
Yes, the road.
No, Bon Jovi album.
Oh my god.
The ruts are getting bigger. We're slowing down. There was one rut back there that felt like it was about 300 mil in width, and we hit it hard. Front suspension, rear suspension, then van. Yeah, the road's definitely getting rougher. Guys, we have just arrived at Archer River Roadhouse. We did 230 kilometres today of sealed and unsealed. The unsealed section was not intense, but there was a lot of corrugations and a lot of red
There
dust.
was, and there was a lot of washouts.
Heaps of washouts, got to slow down for the washouts. But we're here. Heidi, you're about to cook lamb roast.
I am. I'm going to do a roast tonight on the Weber, and also do the veggies in the Weber as well. So it should be good.
Let's get settled in and we'll see you guys in the morning. Oh, that's a mountain trail coming in.
That is, I think it's a 4.7.
It is.
It's a new 4.7.
So we're having breakfast and there's a mountain trail RV coming into the park.
Yeah.
We'll have to go and say hello.
I think they might be getting fuel.
Cool. Let's go and have a look and see if we know the owner.
Hello.
Good, how are you?
Hi,
And
Heidi.
Heidi, that's right. How are you, Heidi? Good. Thanks for seeing you guys up here.
I know, we're filming.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. What are you up, where are you heading?
Up to the tip.
Yeah? The very top? When are you going to get there?
Well, hopefully another 5 days.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
We'll be there around then. 4 days, 3 days?
Yeah.
This is 2023 spec. So we've got induction cooktop. We don't have an oven, which is so much better for off-road. The ovens just, they rattle around too much. Even though you seal them in and everything else.
Because you've got a Weber. You don't need an oven.
No, you don't. And we always cook outside. We used to. We want to be outside. Why would we want to be in a caravan?
Yeah.
What are we doing today, by the way?
So we are leaving Archer River Roadhouse and we're heading to Morton Telegraph Station.
How far is that?
It's about 160 k's-ish.
And we have no idea what the road conditions are?
No idea.
All right.
Haven't spoken to any locals today.
Should be good. This is a beautiful park to stay in.
Yeah, it is. It's really nice, and there's a really nice river down there too.
Yeah, okay. You want to go look at that?
Yeah.
Okay. We're turning right off the Peninsula. What's this called, this road?
Peninsula Developmental Road.
Right, we're turning right. That's what we're doing. We're going that way. Well, we were going to go to Chile Beach, but we've decided not to go to Chile Beach because we're going to go up north and stay in one spot or two spots. And we're going to do the Tally Track, the top section, in the Land Cruiser on its own to see how this goes off-road. So that'll give us an extra day if we avoid Chile Beach. So we just stopped at check the tyres and the wheels and the bearings and the driveline basically, and it's all good. Might have been a bump in the road.
Yeah.
You think?
Well, we are on the Telegraph Road, so.
Yeah, a lot of dust, heaps and heaps of red dust here, loads of it. Cruiser is so smooth.
It's so
Like this vehicle, I'm so impressed with it. It just comes along, the motor it's sweet, isn't it? It pulls really, really well, and it's super comfortable, not one rattle. First thing we did to it was change the tyres. And we went with these Goodyear Wrangler. They're kind of halfway between the all-terrain and a mud tyre, but they're very quiet on the road. So we did the tyres, we put a dual battery system in it as well. So in the back of this, we're running a fridge, a 40-litre fridge in the back, which is our drinks fridge, and then we're running food inside of the van. So that's how we're set up. So it's constantly running the fridge. We also did the crossbars, which is Rhino rack. We've got Max Tracks up on top and a shovel. We also put a Red Arc brake controller in it and an Anderson plug. So the Anderson plug charges our van while we're driving. But the way we've got our van set up is a little bit different to how you would normally set them up. We've got 750 watts of solar on the roof, which is running through a separate controller. So we're getting 32.5 charge from the vehicle, and we're also getting up to 40. So right now we'd probably be putting in about 70 amps for charge while we're driving. Okay, we've made it all the way to Morton Telegraph Station. As you can see behind me, we're going to stay here the night. We did an easy drive today, only a couple of hours, but it was a lot of dust and a lot of corrugations and water crossings as well, heaps of it. So slow going. We've finally figured out how to use the phone system. Over here, you'll see Heidi has worked out the phone system. There's minimal signal. There are a couple of big towns that we haven't had signal for 24 hours. And we are using the telephone boxes though, if you want to call through, and they're free, so it's easy. It's hot up here. It's really hot, really humid, It's constantly 29 to 30 degrees every day. Doesn't appear to change at all. At night time it gets quite dewy, a lot of condensation comes down, it's quite wet in the morning, everything's wet if you leave it out. But very, very hot and very humid. You definitely have to obey the dips in the road. If you see a sign that says dip, definitely 100% slow down because some of the dips are very, very big. If you like four-wheel driving and you like driving, this is a sensational trip to go on. So far we're having heaps of fun with all the driving, the road conditions. It's really enjoyable.
We have just arrived at Morton Telegraph Station and we've gone through a lot of bull dust and mud today. So let's check out the Mountain Trail LXV 6.2 and how well it performed with all the bull dust. So I'm just going to unlock the door and let's see. So we have an automatic inbuilt dust suppression system and we have done all of that bull dust today and there is not a speck of dust in the van. So we have an automatic inbuilt dust suppression system that's ramming air throughout the van. We also have dust vents up here, so we've got filtered fresh air coming through the van into the cabin and also into the compartments outside. So in here we have our kitchen, our slide out kitchen. So if we open up, you can see the seals are working extremely well. There is not any dust in here. Look at this, slide this straight out. Okay, so this is a slide out kitchen. Full stainless steel, we manufacture it in-house in Albury. We have our stove here, we have our sink, and we also have a cutlery tray. You can see that what I've done for corrugations is just to prevent the cutlery from jumping out of the cutlery tray. And under sink storage. We also have a pantry that slides over the kitchen. I know some people might say that, oh, what if you're cooking? But your predominant kitchen and pantry is inside, so this is a secondary kitchen. Okay, I'm going to show you how I've packed this 6.2. Top drawer, cutlery, utensils, Glad wrap and foil, glassware and mugs, plates and bowls, and Tupperware. So underneath the sink, I have all our chemicals. You'll notice that they're in baskets, so they're not rolling around in corrugations. Also, aluminium cabinetry, so no fatigue in corrugations. And also we have non-slip matting that we actually cut ourselves in-house for all our customers, so you don't need to worry about cutting it yourself. Also, under here, normal dishwashing liquids and everything else, dish rack. And then coming underneath the microwave is where I have first aid, fire lighters, bits and pieces. Okay, in the overheads, we have oils and spices. We have tea and coffee for the coffee machine here. Above the range hood, we've got barbecue trays. We've got paper plates, serviettes, paper towel. And then over here, we have breakfast cereals. I have the soy milks and everything else here. In this cupboard, we have snacks. And in the end cupboard is spare. On the other side, in the top cabinets, we have Self-I Go. This is just a blank spot for me. In here, kettle, toaster. In here is where the coffee machine goes. As you can see, we put them into containers so they're not going to be rubbing on any of the aluminium. And then in here is, I actually have tins of food. So in the cabinet above the fridge is huge. We've got here bread, soups, rices, and then we move down, we have our fridge. So we have a freezer here, I've got ice, and I also have frozen bread. And then in here, I have a full stocked fridge. So the front of the van is clothing and linen. So there's a lot of storage around the bed. We have here shelves for clothing. You can also get hanging if you wish, but I prefer shelves. Drawer here, underwear drawer. Exactly the same on the other side. And then up here, I have a couple of different cupboards. Here I have linen and just a few bits and pieces here. We also have a massive amount of storage under the bed, as you can see. So in the ensuite bathroom, we have toiletries in all of the overhead compartments. Underneath the ensuite cabinet bench, we have the diesel hot water service, toiletries in all drawers. And in here, towels. So over here, we have our washing machine, and I am about to just put this load on. Load of washing, power, course, quick wash, 15 minutes, close that down, and we press.
Guys, it is the next day. We've had a beautiful night at Morton Telegraph Station. The hosts here are really friendly. Today we're moving on to Elliott Falls. So all we need to do is get this all hooked up, fill up with water and hit the road. Heidi,
Yes.
we've got a bit of a situation occurring here. Our polycarbonate window is breaking away.
Oh no.
And we've still got,
That's why we've got dust in the
that's
back.
why I've got dust in the back of the Land Cruiser. I wondered why, it's only a little bit, but it's come in here, so we're gonna have to
Okay.
fix that.
We have 100-mile tape.
So our window, our temporary window, the polycarbonate window is causing an issue. What we're gonna do is we're gonna tape it up. But what I'm concerned about, if the urethane's cracked here, it could crack potentially all the way along, right? So we probably need to tape both sides as precaution. Because if we lose a window at this end of the trip, it's going to be a big drama, a big dust drama. So,
Do you want it to dry?
yeah, it's dry. We'll try and keep it kind of temporarily good looking, if possible. Pass those scissors, Heidi. It's very humid. Last night we went for a walk to a swimming hole that we think was potentially full of crocodiles. And then it started pouring rain on the way there. So that cooled us off a bit. We tried to go for a swim, but it just didn't look right, did it, Heidi? No, it didn't. It just looked like anything could be living in there. Last night we ran the air conditioning all night,
That was nice.
didn't we, Heidi?
18 degrees.
18 degrees, we slept like babies, had the best sleep ever last night.
Yep. No humidity.
We are sleeping really well in the van, must admit. It's beautiful to sleep in.
Yeah.
Yep. 100-mile-an-hour tape. Something I would never go out back without. If you hit a kangaroo or something and damage your bumper bar, you can use this. Pop a back window out, use this. Just holds things together. Ready?
Yep.
Good morning everyone, we are back on the road again from Morton Telegraph Point where we stayed last night through to Fruitbat Falls and maybe even Elliott Falls.
Yep.
We have been told that it's a bit gnarly taking caravans into Elliott Falls. It is part of the Old Telegraph Track. So we're going to check it out when we get there and see if we think we can get in. It's about 12 kilometres of the Old Telly Track, so that should be a bit of fun. Heidi and I are feeling a lot better today. We've travelled 3,700 kilometers in less than a week to get here, start this episode, and then get on the road. So last night we got in early. We had a beautiful sleep, about 10 hours sleep in the van, had the air conditioning running all night, and we're feeling refreshed and we're ready to go.
So we've just driven past the Bramwell Station Tourist Park, and there's 2 white tyres out the front. They're pretty famous. Most people will get a photo of that on the way past on the Telegraph Road.
Cool. Guys, this is Bramwell. Right here is where the Old Telegraph Track starts and comes out right at the top. So if you're a heavy duty forward drive enthusiast and you want some fun, this is the track to take. Are we going to do it?
Should we?
With that van?
6.2? No.
Probably not. Probably do it without the van. The Cruiser, I would go with the Cruiser without the van,
100%.
but not that van.
No.
It's too big. It'll just get hung up and everything.
Yeah. A little 4.7 or an EDX?
Maybe.
We've had customers do it.
Have we?
Yep.
Yeah, they've done the whole lot with an EDX, yeah?
And a 4.7.
Really? So we've had customers do this track with the LC3 4.7, our smallest van, and our camper, the EDX. Guys, we are in heavy rain. The road has turned to complete mud. It's slippery. You can hear it, listen to that. Just caking up on the tyres.
And the van is now brown. Pure chocolate brown.
It's actually a bit challenging to drive in, to be honest. The motor's working a lot harder.
You can hear it.
There's puddles everywhere and it's slippery. And we've got corrugations in there as well. It's fun. It's a journey. Getting to the tip. We've just turned off on the Old Telegraph Track. We're going to Fruitbat Falls and we're going to video it going in there. But have a look at this. We've got an issue with our black rear window again. It's actually popped here. See that? So what we've noticed is we've got dust now coming in. This is our replacement window from the original one smashing. So we've got red dust here coming in. Look at this. So we're going to have to tape this up to keep all that red dust out. So the urethane's giving away all the way around. So we've taped down the sides. Now I'm going to tape it along the bottom here. And we might have to tape across the top as well. We hit some really big washouts. Some of them, you know, you'd be cruising along at 80, 85 90 k's an hour and there'd be no warning, it'd just be a massive washout and you'd slam the brakes pretty hard or just hit it. So we're certainly testing out the suspension on this Land Cruiser, and I must say it's quite impressive. It's still very impressive, this vehicle. The van's towing perfectly. Every time we pull over and check, we check inside the van, there's absolutely no fatigue from corrugations. There's not one spot of dust in there. You can hear the positive pressure blowing right now. Hear that hum? That's a hum from the blower. Hear that hum? That's our positive pressure blower, pressurising the van. Let's hit the road, let's go to Fruitbat Falls right now.
So we have just sealed up the back window.
We have.
And we are now continuing on the Old Telegraph Track to Fruitbat Falls.
We are.
It's exciting.
It is exciting. We're off the road, we're in soft red sand. A few little washouts along the way.
It's 30 degrees, pretty warm, but not as humid as it has been.
No, it's dry.
Yeah, it's better.
It is.
We were told today by a neighbouring camper that Fruitbat Falls has got amazing water at the moment. So the waterfall's actually over the whole falls.
Nice. So it should be very spectacular scenery.
It will be, yeah.
Good.
I think we might have to throw the drone up.
Yeah, for sure. Guys, check this place out. This is unbelievable. This is Fruitbat Falls. If you ever come here, make sure you bring your bathers because you definitely have to have a swim.
We've been told that caravans are not recommended at the moment to come into Elliott Falls. Definitely campers have always, camper trailers you can get through, but the river crossing that is noted as long and deep is a bit challenging at the moment, so we'll see how we go.
No problem, we're going through. We will get it through. There's a shock absorber on the track.
Where?
Did you see that? Someone's dropped a shock. Here we go. The river crossing.
Oh, that's one way. Is that it?
Look at that. It's going to be fun in the van.
What about this bit here? Where are you going to put the axles?
I'll figure it out. Let's go and see what the other side's like.
What do we need to look for?
Oh, well, departure angles in the back of the caravan. Make sure you don't get hung up. Same with ramp over angle. But, we're pretty long. I think the vehicle's capable. Undulating land as well, you don't want to tip it. But you know, we're on a tandem axle as well, so that helps. It's probably better than a single axle.
Yeah.
Because on a single axle, you know, you've got a bigger departure angle generally, where we've got 2 wheels, so the departure angle is not as bad.
And we have off-road height, so we'll put it right up to the top of the airbag.
We'll lift it up. We'll go do that now and we'll bring it through. Got to go wide here because got to get the van in the right path. And I've got the van tracking on the right path, I think. Oh, that's not good. That is not good. I'm gonna have to reverse up a bit. Look how good the cruise is going. Whew. Success. It's crawling. Woo. Boom. Straight through. Walked it. Van as well. Well done.
I'm so excited we got through that river crossing.
Yeah.
Like the river crossing wasn't an issue, it was the ruts that was the issue.
Yeah, the van was leaning over. It looked pretty cool, didn't it?
Yeah, it did.
It leaned over a lot going into there.
It did.
Yeah.
I was like, whoa. So we're going to be in here for 2 nights.
Nice. You're good.
More bush.
What a great day we've had today. We finally made it to Elliott Falls. We had a swim at Fruitbat Falls along the way, and we did some forward driving.
We did.
We took the LXV 6.2 right through on the Old Telegraph Track through to Elliott Falls, and we had a great time, and it got through so superbly, and the Land Cruiser towed it absolutely beautifully. Heidi, what are we doing tomorrow?
So we are having a rest day tomorrow. We're going to check out Elliott and Twin Falls tomorrow. Super excited to see them and just relax, and then we'll be back on the road heading up to the tip in 2 days.
And one other thing we're going to do, we're going to go forward driving the Old Telly Track in the Land Cruiser on its own to see how it performs off-road without towing. Today we are taking the Land Cruiser 300 series off-road on the Old Telegraph Track. We're going to disconnect the van and see how it performs on its own. Okay, go now. That'll do. What's that one for? So hot up here. It's hot, it's humid, and there's just dust everywhere, everything you touch. There's no dust in the van, but even when you have a shower, the water coming off you is coloured like brown, like this colour of this dust. What I really do like about this vehicle, just yesterday we were towing the van in, its off-road capability is very, very good. It's got centre diff lock, rear diff lock and front diff lock from the factory as standard, which is very impressive. No, no, maybe. We go in there, we are not going to come out.
Yeah, no.
What about over here? It's part of the Telegraph Track, look.
So if I can do it, anyone can do it.
Is that right?
Yes. Helps having the vehicle with all the technology, and I don't need to think too hard.
Which way are we going here?
Oh, that's a bypass. That's a bypass.
Right, let's go here.
Get a bit of bow over there, yeah, pretty good.
Easy! So when you're coming out of that creek crossing, the guys that had just gone through prior said, how come you struggled so much and that cruiser just crawled up?
Oh, the guys in the 79 series?
Yes.
Wow. It's impressive. It's so smooth and soft and it just walks through everything. Like I came through that creek crossing with centre diff and rear diff locked in, front diff not locked.
So you can manoeuvre it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it just crawled up it. It has different drive modes as well. On the road it has Eco, Comfort, Normal, Sport, Sports Plus, and you can customise your own program as well. And it's obviously got off-road credentials such as low range with front diff lock, centre diff lock and rear diff lock as standard from the factory in the GR Sport. I love how this is so smooth. That's a big rut to fall in.
That is a massive.
How big is that? Do you need to film that?
Yeah.
We've just spent 2 nights and 1 full day at Elliott Falls, and what an amazing place this is. You must come and visit this. It is absolutely essential. You come here and you have a look and you swim in all the waterholes.
So the waterholes are the Saucepan, Elliott Falls and Twin Falls. They were all amazing. What was your favourite?
Probably Elliott Falls, to be honest. I really liked it.
Yeah, you dived in. It was great. So today we're leaving Elliott Falls and heading to Punsan Bay. We're going to be crossing the Jardine River. So let's get on the road because I don't want to be in the queue for too long.
And before we go, we've still got about 5 kilometres of the Old Telegraph Track to get this van out of, and it's going to be tight. We're at a pretty decent creek crossing for 4-wheel drivers here, and we're towing 3.5 tonne. So look at the size of this rut here. It's quite big, and we're going to be taking the van straight through it. So we've got to pick our line properly. We're going to go wide, and the right-hand tracks will come through these rocks here, and the left-hand part of the van is going to come right through this rut. And then we're going to go down to the creek, and we're going to get out and reassess, because on the other side it's even more difficult. Okay, check this out. So this is quite ruddy up here, as you can see, with some steep bits. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to lock in the centre diff, front diff and rear diff on the Land Cruiser, and it's just going to walk it straight through. You'll be amazed at how good this Land Cruiser is towing this van in these conditions. As you can see, clearly and easily, you just walked right through it towing that van, no problem at all.
Absolutely, it was fantastic.
No hesitation from the Land Cruiser, front diff locked in, rear one locked in, and it just pulled it straight through. It's a very, very capable off-road vehicle with all that technology and the flex as well in the suspension. We're really impressed with the Land Cruiser. We're at the Jardine River Ferry. We're about to get on the ferry and cross over, and we're going to make it right up to the top today. So we've just crossed the Jardine River on the Jardine Ferry, and the ferry operators are absolutely drooling all over the Land Cruiser 300, and they said it's the first 300 to ever cross the ferry. So there you go, Land Cruiser 300 has made it into
The Northern Peninsula area.
So in the Northern Peninsula area now, we've crossed the river. This is the last leg we've got to do until we get the van to its final destination as far north as it can get.
We have just arrived at Bummaga. We've just restocked in the supermarket and now we are about to head to Punsan Bay.
Who's your little friend?
Aww.
I was just saying to Heidi in the car that she's looking spectacularly hot today. Is it the hair? Or is it the whole thing?
It's the hair.
She has these hot days every now and then. No, she has regular hot days. $2.62 a litre. So we are 25 kilometres from our destination right now, and 33 to the most northern point, which is Pajinka.
give everybody a hooray that made it to Punsoon Bay, but we've got to make sure there's no wankers.
We've arrived!
We've made it all the way. We've made it all the way to Punsoon Bay, towing the LX3 6.2, 4,100 kilometres from Albury when we left, 1,030 kilometres from Cairns, towed beautifully, but we've got one more thing to do.
We do.
We've got to disconnect the van and we're going to take the Land Cruiser all the way to the tip. Look at this dust, absolutely everywhere, this red dust. Over the entire van. Look here, back of the vehicle. But
have a look at how good the dust suppression system is. Open this up. Stainless steel kitchen, perfectly clean. The very first look. Not a speck of dust in the whole van. It works so well.
the Land Cruiser 300 exceeded our expectations, especially in off-road performance.
Absolutely.
How amazing is this vehicle off-road?
Yeah, and it towed our LXV 6.2 3.5 ton van down to Elliott Falls. It was incredible. It just crawled over everything.
A lot of technology in this vehicle, making it an exceptional off-road vehicle, but on-road, exceptionally well behaved, very comfortable, very light in the steering, good engine performance, great sound, and economical. I think Toyota have done a really, really good job with this vehicle.
I agree.
If you'd like to see more about our vans, check out mountrailrv.com.au. Now, if you'd like to see more videos, make sure you subscribe and like down below because we do have more content coming out in the future. And thanks for watching.